Hey, what's up? Here we are again. Uh, got another one of Terrible Tom's tirades for you. Now, this is a very special edition because um, this weekend, well, last weekend really, was Record Store Day. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar, Record Store Day has been around for about 14 years now, and it's a way to help celebrate us vinyl nerds and put out some special releases and encourage people to go out and support their local record stores. Now, one of my favorite record stores, especially in this area, is called Orbits, and it's a brand new record store, and they're really trying to do it right. And Orbits is owned by a great guy and a friend of mine named Jason Beater. Now, Jason not only owns Orbit Records, but he also owns three restaurants um, that are pretty sweet too. One of them, Oscars, actually is the name of it, and both Orbits and Oscars are named after his dogs. Um, so Oscars uh, is super cool. It's got a great vibe. You go in there and there's show posters hanging up on the walls. There's uh, there's menu items named after metal bands, and even some local metal bands, which is awesome. A while ago, I don't know, I guess it's been a couple years now, um, pre COVID, uh, a nonprofit that I'm with uh, did a lot of construction work to try to build out a nonprofit, all ages arts venue, not just for shows and things like that, but there were comedy shows there. There was even like private parties. There was a comedy show. Um, hey, what's up? Welcome back to another one of Terrible Tom's tirades. This is a very special edition because last weekend was Record Store Day. Record Store Day, for those of you not in the know, um, is an event that happens all over the country, and I don't know, maybe the world. I don't know, but it happens in America, and I live in America. Um, and it's an event where they put out special edition releases uh, from every genre of music. Some of them are hard to come by, limited runs, and they're not sold online until the day after Record Store Day. Reason being is it's designed to encourage people to go out and support their local record stores. Um, and I have the pleasure of being friends with a fellow that owns a record store in Barboursville, West Virginia. His name's Jason Beater. He's a great guy, and he's always gone above and beyond to give to the local music scene. Um, he also owns three restaurants, uh, one of which is called Oscars. His record store is called Orbits, and they're both named after his dogs, which is pretty fucking awesome too. You know what I mean? Um, Out of his three restaurants that he owns, Oscars is my favorite, mostly because it's got a little bit of a music theme. It's actually called uh, Oscar's Breakfast Burgers and Brews. Jason likes to drink beer, so at every one of his restaurants, you'll find that there's plenty of beer flowing. And another great thing about Oscars is there's show posters up on the walls. There's menu items dedicated to, anyone from Behemoth to Pig Destroyer to Sleep, even to some local music acts like Byzantine and Horseburner. Now, um, I encourage everyone to go and eat at one of Jason's restaurants. Uh, Go to Orbits, buy some records, and really do everything you can to support that guy because, man, he has always given a lot to the local music scene. And he likes a lot of hardcore and metal himself. But anyway, I got some footage from the record store day event that was put on by Jason's record store, Orbits. And it was a great event. There was live music. The city of Barboursville really helped out and, you know, what they could to support the event. They closed down a side street. So, man, there was a stage set up in the middle of the street with bands playing, and, you know, hundreds of people came out and enjoyed themselves. The weather was perfect. And he had a line of people when the doors opened at 7 a.m. to get in there and buy those record store releases. Now, I didn't make it down there before 7 a.m. So, unfortunately, a lot of the record store day releases that he had there that I would have been interested in were already sold out. Thankfully, I was able to go to another local record store later on and pick up those. Now, one of the things that I really like about Orbits is Jason's one of the fellas, you know what I mean? So he knows what people like me like to listen to, and he's got a pretty great metal and hardcore section that you don't find at a lot of local record stores. Most record stores group all that stuff in kind of together and rock and just kind of leave it at that. But Jason really has like taken his time to curate those sections, and immediately when I walk in, I always go to the hardcore section, and I ended up buying probably a lot more records than I should, but it's all for a great cause because Jason's a great guy and he's really going above and beyond to support the local music scene and support hardcore, metal, and underground music in general. So anytime I can do something to help him out, I absolutely will. So I'm not sad that I spent probably a little too much money. It went to a good cause. So I'm going to start off. Well, first of all, why don't we go to some video? And I did a little short clip with Jason to talk about the event. And through the marvels of modern technology, I'm going to dub that shit in right now. How's it going, Jason?
Doing great.
This is a nice event you got going right here.
It's turned out way better than anticipated.
Yeah? Was there a line at 7 this morning?
There was. The line stretched from our front door here all the way down the sidewalk here where the guys are pushing gear in right now.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you got going on?
Sure. Obviously, Orbit's Record Shop, we opened on Black Friday. This is our very first record store day, so we figured we'd make one hell of a party out of it. So we brought in a stage, did some live bands, like some food vendors, some local artists to set up their gear. A bar down on the end, we decided to serve food and drinks and have a big party in the street.
That's awesome. We'll have to get you on for an interview at some point. Absolutely. When things are a little less crazy.
Yep. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for doing all this, supporting music and the arts.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, how's it going? Good. I love it. What we have of record store day stuff is left on that table.
I have a bunch of records, and then I definitely want to get some more. I was looking for his cousin's brother.
And we're back, just like that. It's like magic, right? So, now that you've seen the environment and how awesome it was, let me show you some of the gems that I picked up that day. Okay, so one of my favorite bands is a band called Terror, and he happened to have in his hardcore section this little beauty right here. You see that? Oh yeah. So I had to pick that sucker up. And again, you know, that's one of the things that I really enjoy a lot about hardcore and punk records is a lot of times they're a different color of vinyl. They're not always just black like you see on a lot of other more mainstream genres of music. And it's always a nice, pleasant surprise to open up an LP like this and pull that sucker out and see what color we got. And you know what? This one just happens to be black. It's fine. I'm not upset about it. It's a great record and I can't wait to listen to it. This is one of about, I don't know, 4 or 5 Terror records that I have at this point. I think it's time for a little sip. You know what's in the cup? Guess. What do you think is in the cup? Leave in the comments. Just kidding, it's juice. It's Crown apple juice because I'm straight edge and I like juice. All right. Here's another record that stumbled across. Is pretty excited about. You know, I've seen it a few times before, and I've never picked it up, but I saw it, and like I said, what better time to go ahead and get it than record store day at my buddy's record store. Let's see, limited to 500 copies. Let's crack this little baby open and see if this one's black too. It might be black. Could be black. Madball's such a great band, and all those dudes. You know, Freddie Madball has been in the hardcore scene since he was literally a child. And Madball started off as a side project of Agnostic Front, and Roger Murray is Freddie Madball's older brother. So you can't really do much better than that. All right. Well, this isn't a big surprise. This is a black and blue record, and those are the colors of DMS crew that Madball's a part of. There's a lot of New York guys in that crew. But yeah, that's great. Super excited about this one. Can't wait to give it a listen. Alright, so this is another one. Again, it's one of those that I've stumbled across, never picked up, seen it for years. And you know, like, not for nothing, everybody hates on Gigi. And I don't blame them, because Gigi Allen was a scumbag. That was kind of his thing. He was a scumbag. And I'll always respect a person that owns their shit. And Gigi Allen owned his scumbaggery, and that's what he was about. So that's just what it is, you know. You can hate on the guy all you want for being a scumbag, but at least he was honest enough to be open about what a scumbag he was, you know. All right, here we go. You ready for the reveal? What'd you call that? Maybe like shit brown? Is that ironic? I don't know. I usually don't find out what the colors are actually called until I get on Discogs and add it to my collection. Which I'm gonna do an episode on Discogs too, because man, that was a game changer for me. You know, I'd been collecting vinyl a little bit here and there for some years before I found it, and when I found it, I was like, oh, this is amazing. You know what I mean? A lot of people hate on it, say it ruined the record collecting hobby. A lot of people don't like it. I love it. And it's one of those things where you can't really you can't stop the future. And that kind of thing is definitely the future. So, all right, here's another band that gets a lot of hate for a lot of different reasons. I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. If I like the band, I'm gonna buy it. And some of you probably have guessed who that band might be. That's right. It's the Dwarfs. And you know, I've got several Dwarves records. This is one of the only ones I don't have, and that's another reason that I really enjoy Discogs, man, is because you know, if it weren't for Discogs, or at least keeping a pretty detailed list about what titles I have in my collection, I would buy the same shit over and over again because I can't remember what records I have and which I don't, because I've got the memory of a goddamn goldfish. Anybody that knows me will tell you I have no fucking memory. This is a black record, by the way. And hell, even with Discogs, I'll end up buying the same damn record more than once, just because I can't keep up with all that shit, you know. All right, here's another one, and this is by no means a new record. It's a great record. It's one of those again that I've seen for years, never picked it up. Saw it over there at Orbit and said, you know what, I'm gonna get it. Boom. Can't go wrong with good old Circle Jerks. Let's have a peek-see. This one says limited edition, deluxe remastered from the original. Feels kind of heavy. It might be just 180 gram vinyl. Doesn't really say. Possibly. Oh, I know what's in me. It's got a nice book. This is a super nice book. How many pages does it say? Pages aren't numbered, but look at that. Great photos. Got some band history here. Man, you know what I like doing? I like to put a record on and sit down, and I'll read along to the lyrics with the record. The lyrics to this pretty good record happen to be on the sleeve. So I'll sit and read all the lyrics along with the record, and just really like immerse myself in the whole record, you know what I mean, and just get to know it. This is a black record also. Not upset, because those colored records, when you come across them, man, it's always like it's just a nice surprise, you know. It's like a happy little tree, right? Okay, so this one, I think this is actually the last one that I got from Orbits. This was a record store day drop. And I love the band. I think pretty much everybody loves the band because it's a great band. But this is Motorhead, The Lost Tapes. And, you know, this is a great double LP. And looks like it's a gatefold record. It's, for those of you not in the know, those are the records that open up kind of like a book. And I will say, like, the records that you get on Record Store Day, they're not cheap. And they're not meant to be cheap. Oh, this is my wife walking around behind me right here. You see her? See that? Get some eye candy too, huh? They're not cheap, and they're not meant to be cheap, you know, because they're highly collectible, and they sell fast, and you get little surprises like this. Look at that. That's nice, right? Both of them are that nice translucent blue color. Oh, it's almost even kind of marbled too. That's nice. I'm excited to listen to this one. Okay. So that is one of my Record Store Day hauls. So as I mentioned earlier, I was a sack rat and wasn't at Orbits at 7 a.m. I ended up showing up probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and they still had quite a few record store releases there, but most of the ones that I would have been interested in were already pilfered. somebody got in there and plundered them. Some fucking jerk like me that gets in there and grabs the records out of other people's clutches. But fortunately, there's a couple other record stores in the area that participate in Record Store Day. And that's the thing is, not every record store participates in Record Store Day, and not every record store not every record store gets every release that is put out on Record Store Day. And fortunately, there's another record store nearby that participated. And I've got some, I want to do some interviews and stuff too, because, man, I don't claim to be an aficionado. I don't know everything about the hobby. It's something that I enjoy, though, and something that I'd like for other people to kind of get into too, man, because the more people that are into it, the more sweet records they're going to put out, and the more sweet records I can fucking get. So now, the other record store in the area has been around for like decades. And, it's not necessarily my scene because I'm not into, oh, you know what? I take that back. These are from Orbits also. And I forgot that I got more records from Orbits. So, this is a local band's record. And, pretty cool. They put out this 7-inch, and anytime I see something, especially in this area, there's not a ton of bands that put out vinyl records. So anytime I see a local band that's put out some vinyl, I'm gonna snatch it up, and that's what I did here. Let's see. Yeah, and that's what I thought. So there's a local band called Black Knots, right? And I happen to notice this sticker in here. And I think this was Jared from Black Knots band. And he could probably correct me, and I'll probably tag him in this too. I think this was probably his band before the Black Knots. Which we had the pleasure of playing with them one time before. I think we actually played with them in support of Hudson Falcons when they were down with my band, Chud, which I'll talk a little bit about here in a second because I got a little surprise for you. But yeah, I think Jerry here on the back is Jared, and that's probably why. And I know that Jared and Jason are buddies too, so that's probably what happened there. All right, I'm gonna flip this over here. So one of the great things about Orbits is they get a lot of used vinyl that's in great shape, and some of it's not like in pristine condition or anything like that, but it's always nice to pick up an older record like this down there that, somebody obviously, really enjoyed this record for a number of years, and now it's in my collection, and I can enjoy it too. Plus, who doesn't like Black Sabbath, right? Let's check this little baby out. I haven't pulled it out of the sleeve or anything. There's some scratches in there, nothing too crazy though. Where Jason's such a big collector too, he grades everything and is honest about it. This one says it's scratched and noisy, but it's cool, and it was a steal. Came out in 1983, so it's as old as I am, and frankly, I'm scratched and noisy too, so you'll have that. All right, I picked up another couple records here. This is a Suicidal Tendencies picture disc, and I saw it and I said, man, I gotta have it. Just because I enjoy picture discs. You know, it's the kind of thing, I may listen to them like one time, but I don't really want to like finger them up too much, you know what I mean? But I love Suicidal, and I can't wait to check this little baby out. Now, that said, I got another Suicidal Tendencies record. I think I saw them on this tour. This is a double LP. Again, it's gatefold. So it'll be nice to listen to this little sucker and think back on the show. As a matter of fact, it's ironic because I'm pretty sure on this tour they had Madball in support. So I got two of the bands on the lineup for the tour I went and saw a few years ago. Here we go. You ready for the reveal? Pretty, right? And this is a double LP also. And Suicidal is one of those bands that's been around for so long, and they've really bridged the gap between a lot of different genres and a lot of different groups of people. Mike Muir is definitely his own person. All right, so you've heard me talk a little bit about my band that's played with, some of the bands that I collect. Just opening up for them because we're nobody big or anything, but I love the music, and that's been one of the greatest things for me is getting to share the stage, and open up for bands like Terror and Madball and Hudson Falcons. And the name of my band at the time was Chud. And so, over there at Orbits, I stumbled across this little gem, which I don't know if you guys are hip or not, but Chud was a movie back in the 80s. This is a B movie, but it's a great B movie about sewers dwelling zombies. And, that's, our band's name was an homage to that, but it was a little bit of a different acronym. Chud, the movie, stands for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers. And my band's acronym was Causes of Humanity's Urban Decay. So it was, a little bit of an homage, and also, it's just a cool acronym. There's a lot of history, and, in punk rock, too, there's been a lot of different, Chuds. Like in the Misfits, their drummer for a long time was named Dr. Chud. Was it Dr. Chud? Am I fucking that up? I can't remember. It was something Chud. You can get on there and roast me in the comments for having a fucking goldfish brain. This is another nice gatefold. There's some cool art in here. I'm sure this is a black record, though. Because like I said, it seems like colored vinyl is, definitely much... Oh, I'm wrong as shit. Look at this. Oh, that's fucking perfect, right? I'm excited about that, too. I don't know how great the music's going to be on here, but I'm going to listen to it. Had to have it, Don't be too jelly. Here we go. All right, so for real now, that is the end of my Orbits haul. And I'm looking at the time here. This segment has been 20 minutes. I don't want to drag this on too long because nobody will watch this motherfucker if it's too long. So, I'm going to save these other records for another episode. And you guys are going to have to wait with bated breath to find out what awesome fucking records I scored elsewhere. One of them is pretty rad, and I'm super excited about it. One of the great things about Discogs is you can kind of like look at the pricing, and I try not to worry about it too much, especially if I'm buying it in a store. Because half the reason that I buy records in a store rather than just buying them off the internet all the time is to support the stores. And you know, there's not any other experience like going into a record store and flipping those crates and looking for treasure, because that's what you're doing. You're digging for treasure in those crates, and I want to keep that alive and going. So I'm always going to do what I can to help it happen, and that also, if that means paying another $2 or $3 or $4 for each record I buy, which is usually not that much, but if it is, I'm gonna fucking do it, because that experience is valuable to me, and I think it's valuable to a lot of people. So I'm gonna keep doing it, and I hope you do too. So for next time, we've got some other records we're gonna talk about. If you guys are ready for them. This one's a big one. Why don't you tell me in the comments if you can guess what this box set is, because that's what it is. It's a box set, and I got it on a record store day. So let's see if any of you clever motherfuckers can figure out what this bad boy is before I do my next video. And I'll throw it in the comments, and I'll respond and tell you if you're right or wrong. All right? Do the thing, hit the bell, subscribe, do all the little things. And thanks so much for bearing with me for this 30 fucking minute long episode of me talking about the shit that I collect. Cheers, till next time. Terrible Tom. Bye now.